Hello, everyone. Hello, parents. Hello, fellow teachers. Hello, boys and girls. As Miss Colleen said, my name is Emely Ramirez. I am a Belizean educator, principal and teacher at St. Joseph Anglican Preschool. I am so very grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today about storytelling for children pre-birth to age 5. I really like the idea of storytelling. It allows everyone to tap into something that we all have, that is, experiences, memories, our own past. First, let me clarify that storytelling is not about having a whole lot of books, because your children may or may not have books. If you have books, fine. If you don't, not to worry. Storytelling is not the same as reading from a book. Storytelling does not limit us to our economic status. So, nor does it limit us to where we are, who we are, or to wherever we are. As I said, I teach young children. Our children start preschool at age. Storytelling doesn't depend, as I was saying, to our educational background. In fact, some of the best storytellers, those who can catch a crowd's attention and have everybody laughing, may not have been to any college or university. Storytelling comes from inside, and it is free and it's available to everyone. We tell stories every day, sometimes all day. It is important to know that whatever we do that is good and contributes positively to our children's development is worth keeping and worth doing. As I said before, I teach preschool. Our children come to us at preschool at the tender age of 2 years and 8 months, so that by January 31st, right after New Year's, they are all 3 years old. I would love to say that I'm their first teacher, but you know what? That's not true. Parents are the first teachers, especially you mummies. Did you know that your baby can hear even before he or she is born? Yes, a baby can hear when he or she is still in the womb. A baby does a lot of things before being born. A baby feels, grows, kicks, yawns, responds to your feelings, and yes, in that last trimester, those last 3 months, a baby can hear. You may ask, what does a baby respond to while in the room? While in the womb, a baby responds to emotions, to your moods, and to song. What does a baby hear then? What does a baby hear when still in the womb? A baby hears heartbeat, your voice, songs, and even the voice of your loved ones. So, young and expectant mothers, before you welcome your baby into the world, speak to your baby. Begin right away telling stories. Encourage your family members to speak to the baby, to get really close, to touch and speak and tell stories to the baby. One of the best things anyone can have is a family, but not just any family, a loving family. What things brings family together? The life we live, our common experiences, our everyday routines, and our stories. Our stories are so important to share with our family members, to our young children, and to babies. Some of the things that stories are important for is language development. Talking to your baby, telling stories about the family and about our traditions and our cultures that really helps the babies and young children to listen. They begin learning words. At this time, from birth to age 5, that's a very formative time. That's a time when children are really learning. And it's such a time that children are open to learning, especially language. So speak to your baby, talk, tell stories. Stories can be calming. Storytelling can be calming for the mother and for the baby. Because a child listens for months before learning to talk, it is so important. Just that storytelling time can be important because a story is telling in usually a calm and loving way. I don't remember stories being shouted or yelled to a child. So calm storytelling teaches the child lessons, teaches a child about cultures, teaches about beliefs. Storytelling even teaches about love. And although storytelling can be done all day, it is important and even recommended that families have a specific storytelling time, a time when families can stop, calm down, and relax and bond over stories. It could be a routine established time when stories are told by different family members to encourage communication, to encourage sharing the day, especially during these difficult and trying times. Storytelling within a family can foster and encourage love, because just knowing that your family takes time to share with you helps to know that you are loved. When children learn to love themselves, it's helpful because when you love yourself, you get to love others. And our world really needs love right now. In addition to all the social benefits of storytelling, also think of the benefits of learning and literacy development. Just being able to learn so many different concepts through listening to stories. For example, when telling a story to your young child, use sensible sentences and words. Avoid using baby talk, because what a child listens to is what the child will learn. If a story is about a dog, say it's a dog. You may say that the dog says woof woof, but don't call a dog woof woof. Say things by their correct name. Teach language, teach concept, teach new words through your stories. Repetition is good. A child may ask you for the same story over and over. Tell the story, because eventually your child will learn to tell his or her own stories. Children also love lively characters in stories. So sit with your child and allow them to cuddle and have fun while listening to stories. A few more benefits of a child sitting close and listening to stories is that the child becomes a better listener. We need better listeners. A child becomes a better speaker. He or she is then able to express him or herself even better because you taught him how to express him or herself through your stories, through your words, through your communication style. A better writer, a better listener and a better speaker then becomes a better writer and a better storyteller. I love telling stories. It is one way in which our parents, our ancestors, used to tell stories and keep our culture alive. Without listening to those stories through what is called oral tradition, we wouldn't know much of what we know today about the way we live. Our ancestors told stories of our struggle, their survival, their accomplishments. And through their stories, they tell us about what they want us to achieve. We are now the adults. We are the parents. It is our turn to tell our stories. It is our turn to do good and to help our children with the stories we tell. When I tell stories, I like to use my dolls. These are my dolls. These are called Isiani dolls. And Isiani means love in the Garifuna language. The girl is Isiani and the boy is Isani. When I tell stories about regular children. I tell stories about the chores children do, the games they play, the places they go, music, family. One of the storylines I really like is to tell about choices that boys and girls have. I may give the characters names, and you can do that too. Not the names of family members, because that can cause some friction. But you can name the boy and girl in the story and tell of the choices that one character or the other had. If one character in the story made good choices, chose to do good, chose to study, chose to learn how to plant, and another character chose not to do good, choose not to listen, children can then follow up with the storyline and even talk about which character they would prefer to be, which character would do better than the other, just by following the storyline. Help children to make choices. Encourage children through your stories that the actions they take and the choices they make all have consequences. And that through the things that they do and the actions they take, they can become anything they want to be. As I said at the beginning of my presentation, I teach preschool. And many mornings I get to hear a story. Many mornings I hear a story that I wish every child could hear. I see busy parents on their way to work stop, kneel down, or bend to the level of their child and say, "I love you. Have a good day." And that parent, I think, is one of the best stories ever. So remember, storytelling is a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool to teach so many things to our boys, our girls, our babies, our families. Apart from teaching lessons, storytelling also teaches life skills and language. It teaches a child that you have time for them and that you love them. Parents, always remember to tell a good story. Thank you so much for listening.